I'm a confused identity. You can call me what you want. I was born in Abu Dhabi and lived here in this part of the world most of my life. And then I moved to Canada for my degree in arts, fine arts. Um, I identify myself as a Palestinian and also as a Canadian because I lived in Canada for quite some time. And I see myself belonging to that culture more than anywhere else because I've actually lived there. So you can call me Palestinian, you can call me Canadian, you can call me Emirati, you can call me whatever you want. You have a whole variety over. So, what am I? I'm an artist. I'm basically a designer. I like composition, I like color, I like texture. I've worked mainly on painting, drawing, and 2D. Now I'm a graphic designer, and I'm trying to gain as much experience as possible, hoping to be a professional designer in the BTL section. So, logos, brochures, leaflets, stuff like that. But ultimately, my dream is to get back into conceptual contemporary art and to basically represent my faith through art. What's my purpose in life? That question was what drove me to really ask questions. And of course, world events, September 11th, people starting to think, what is this Islam and why do you identify yourself with such a horrible religion and all these bad, negative, perspectives of religion. And I realized, wow, my reaction is that no, I want to understand, why do these people think so negatively? Why do I think I'm a Muslim when I don't practice? Why don't I pray? All these questions. And then I just realized that my need for purpose and my need to know what I am. There's a lot of identity conflict that was happening, but it drove me to go and start, taking action and start understanding. So I would go to clubs on campus and spiritual clubs. There was a Campus for Christ, and there was the Hilal, which was for the Judaism, and there was obviously the Muslim Student Association. And I felt that, at the beginning, I thought of the idea as, oh, this is way too organized and too exclusive. Why would people, just form a club and, sit and call themselves Muslims and, just, it's too exclusive. What is this? I was never used to that. But then I realized, no, these people are activists. These people aren't just, saying that they're better than other people. They're working hand in hand. Campus for Christ and the Muslim Student Association were organizing events together. Soup kitchens, they would tell Muslims to go and help out in the church to serve the poor. And, in Iftar, when there was Ramadan, they would help. The Christians would come and help out with the food as well. So there was a lot of interfaith events. And I would sit on the same table with a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim. The biggest test was actually when I came back to this part of the world, the Arab world, because people really over here, the majority, I don't want to generalize, they've got it all wrong. Dubai is a Middle Eastern hub of westernization, and people are really proud of that. It's really beautiful on the billboards and it's marketed very well and everybody knows. But when you, as a person who lives here, who's been raised here, it's the people that, the culture is based on materialism. It's based on money. It's based on very superficial things. So when you come back as a veiled young woman from the background of, a middle class background, and they know you as one person, you come back and you're like, hello, I'm wearing a cloth on my head, and they're like, what did you do? And they have this very backward impression of it. And funnily enough, these are Muslims that are thinking this way and they're reacting this way negatively. But over in Canada, where people are so diverse from different cultures, and I had a lot of Canadian friends, Asian friends, Indian friends, Jewish friends. I had so many different friends, and they respected me because I was wearing the veil. So that dichotomy between, being in the West and being in the East, and the strangeness of how you would think that Muslims would be happy and the non-Muslims would be against it, and realizing that it's the Muslims that are ashamed of, declaring their identity and holding it up and representing it in public. it's sort of disappointing. But I took it as a challenge because if you're not challenged, you'll never bring yourself closer to God. You'll just be too comfortable on your, Islamic throne. I guess, you don't want that. You want to be challenged because that's what it is. Faith is a challenge. It's, your self-restraint. It's trying to ignore all the materialistic things that don't really have a purpose, and just realizing that at the end of the day you're going back to God you shall return. So in Dubai that's very hard to do, and there's very little that reminds you of God and reminds you of the fact that you're going to be judged for every action you've committed and every word you said and what you did with your money and what you did with your time. So that's actually something I'm trying to use as a challenge to become even closer to God than I was in Canada. I mean, in Canada, it was a challenge to a certain degree, but I was like, it was easy. There were so many outlets. There's so many activists. There's so many clubs that cater to every community's needs. My greatest wish is to be a very powerful tool in making people understand the the true version of Islam, not the messed up, wrongly misused, misrepresented version, and just for Islam as in general to be understood properly by not just Americans or Jews or whatever, by Muslims, because Muslims I feel aren't even doing their part. So my greatest wish is obviously to start with myself and hopefully bring everyone around me to help out in that purpose.